Hey learners, welcome back to Edu Intern Voyage. Your learning journey starts.
Long answer. Elaborate the concepts of consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is a broad and dynamic field that studies the ways individuals choose and use goods and services. The concepts of consumer behavior help explain how, why, when, and what consumers buy. These concepts form the foundation for understanding demand patterns and market behavior. One of the central concepts is utility, which refers to the satisfaction or pleasure a consumer derives from consuming a product. Consumers aim to maximize total utility within their limited income. Utility may be explained in two forms: cardinal utility, where satisfaction can be measured numerically, and ordinal utility, where satisfaction is ranked rather than measured. These approaches help economists understand consumer preferences and decision-making. Another important concept is marginal utility, which refers to the additional satisfaction obtained from consuming one more unit of a good. Marginal utility decreases as consumption increases, which forms the basis of the law of diminishing marginal utility. This concept helps explain why demand curves slope downward. The equimarginal principle is also central to consumer behavior. It states that consumers maximize satisfaction when the marginal utility per rupee spent on each good is equal. This guides consumers in allocating their income optimally among different goods. Indifference curve analysis is another modern concept that helps understand consumer choice. It assumes consumers can rank preferences and choose combinations of goods that give equal satisfaction. With a budget line, it determines the consumer's equilibrium. Features of consumer behavior. Consumer behavior refers to the study of how individuals make decisions to spend their resources such as time, money, and effort on consumption-related items. The features of consumer behavior highlight the characteristics and nature of consumer decision-making. One of the most important features is that consumer behavior is goal-oriented. Every consumer decision is taken with the aim of satisfying a specific need or want. Consumers purchase goods not just for ownership but for the utility they provide. Consumer behavior is also influenced by psychological factors such as perception, motivation, learning, beliefs, and attitudes. Learning shapes habits, and attitudes affect buying preferences. These factors explain why consumers with the same income may behave differently. Finally, consumer behavior is affected by limited income, making choice essential. Since resources are scarce, consumers must make rational choices to maximize satisfaction. In conclusion, the features of consumer behavior provide a complete understanding of how consumers think and act. These features are essential for demand analysis and business decision-making. 3. Law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility, DMU, is one of the fundamental principles in consumer behavior and economics. Proposed by Alfred Marshall, the law states that as a consumer consumes more and more units of a commodity continuously, the marginal utility derived from each additional unit decreases, while total utility increases at a diminishing rate. Eventually, marginal utility may become zero or even negative. Utility refers to the satisfaction a consumer derives from consuming a product. Marginal utility, mu, is the additional satisfaction gained from consuming one extra unit of a good. The law works on the assumption that all other conditions remain constant, known as the ceteris paribus assumption. To understand the law, consider an example: a person eating slices of pizza. The first slice gives high satisfaction because the consumer is hungry. The second slice still gives satisfaction but less than the first. By the third or fourth slice, satisfaction declines further. Eventually, additional slices may give zero or even negative satisfaction, showing disutility. This clearly demonstrates diminishing marginal utility. The law is based on several assumptions. Consumer is rational. Units of the commodity are identical. Consumption is continuous. Consumers' taste, habits, and income remain unchanged. Utility can be measured, cardinal measurement. The law has great significance in economics. It forms the basis of the downward sloping demand curve. When mu falls with additional consumption, consumers are willing to pay less for extra units, which explains why demand increases when price falls. It also forms the foundation for the law of equimarginal utility, which explains optimal allocation of income among various goods. The law also helps in pricing policy. Sellers understand that to sell more units, they must reduce the price because consumers derive lesser satisfaction from additional units. It also plays a role in taxation, as higher taxes on goods with inelastic demand create less discomfort for consumers. Although the law is widely accepted, it has limitations. It does not apply to rare goods, hobbies, or services like music or movies where utility may increase. In conclusion, the law of diminishing marginal utility is a fundamental economic concept that explains consumer behavior, price determination, and demand patterns, making it essential in microeconomic theory. Law of equimarginal utility, 10 marks. The law of equimarginal utility, also known as the law of substitution or Gausson's second law, is an important principle in consumer behavior. It explains how consumers allocate their limited income among various goods to achieve maximum satisfaction. According to this law, a consumer reaches equilibrium when the marginal utility per rupee spent on each good is equal. This ensures that no reallocation of expenditure can increase total utility. Formally, consumer equilibrium is achieved when this means the last rupee spent on each commodity yields the same level of marginal utility. The law can be explained with a simple example. Suppose a consumer buys two goods, tea and coffee. If the marginal utility per rupee spent on tea is greater than that spent on coffee, the consumer will buy more tea and less coffee. By doing so, the marginal utility from tea falls, while that from coffee rises. This adjustment continues until both become equal. At this point, total satisfaction is maximized. This law is based on several assumptions. The consumer is rational. Utility can be measured numerically, cardinal measurement. The marginal utility of money remains constant. The prices of goods remain unchanged. Goods are divisible. Consumers' tastes and preferences remain constant. The law has great significance. It explains how consumers optimally allocate income under scarcity. It forms the basis of demand theory and explains how changes in prices lead to substitution between goods. Producers and businesses use this principle to understand how consumers divide expenditure and to design pricing strategies. The law also guides government policy, especially in public expenditure. Governments allocate budgets across sectors such as education, defense, health, and infrastructure to achieve maximum social welfare. Similarly, firms allocate resources across different projects based on marginal productivity. However, the law has limitations. It assumes utility can be measured, which is unrealistic. It does not apply to goods consumed for pleasure, passion, or prestige. It also assumes constant prices and unchanged tastes, which may not hold in real life. In conclusion, the law of equimarginal utility is essential for understanding consumer choice and optimal allocation of limited resources. It explains how consumers balance satisfaction across goods to maximize overall utility. 5. Indifference curve 10 mark answer. An indifference curve, IC, is an important tool in modern consumer behavior analysis. It represents the various combinations of two goods that provide the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Since all points on an IC give equal utility, the consumer is indifferent among them. This concept belongs to the ordinal utility approach, which believes that consumers can rank their preferences but cannot measure satisfaction numerically. Meaning, an indifference curve shows different bundles of goods that yield equal satisfaction to the consumer. The consumer does not prefer one combination over another because all provide the same utility level. Definition. Economists define it as an indifference curve is a locus of points representing different combinations of two goods which offer the same level of utility to the consumer. Assumptions. The indifference curve analysis is based on the following assumptions. Rational consumer. The consumer aims to maximize satisfaction. Two goods only analysis is shown using two commodities. Ordinal utility satisfaction can be ranked but not measured. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution, misses, as the consumer substitutes one good for another, misses decreases. Consistency and transitivity. Preferences are consistent and transitive. If A, B and B, C, then A, C. Significance. Better explanation of consumer choice. Ike analysis explains consumer behavior more realistically than cardinal utility. Basis for demand curve. Price effect, income effect, and substitution effect are explained using indifference curves. Helps understand substitution between goods. Shows how consumers adjust consumption when prices change. Useful in welfare economics. Helps economists compare different levels of consumer welfare. Explains various types of goods. Normal, inferior, and given goods can be studied using ICs.
If you are a BCom student who wants simple, clear, and reliable study content, subscribe to Edu Intern Voyage, like the videos, and start your learning journey today.